our tip of the week, and this is something that if you are just now joining us for the first time, that you'll probably want to go and check out on our YouTube channel. So every week we do a different tip. Every week we talk about a different aspect of real estate investing and how you can use some of the strategies that we've used to be successful in your own investing career as well. So excited to be able to share that with you guys. And for those of you guys who are watching us online or on a podcast, you're welcome to come to one of our live meetings. Just go to Texas REIAs, REIAS.com/live, and we'll be able to spend a little time with you, meet you, and talk with you about your real estate investing and see how we can help you along your journey. And every week I do a different tip of the week. I've got some of the old tips of the week here, and you guys can check them out again on our YouTube channel or on any of the different socials that we're part of. And the one that I wanted to talk about today is about leasing your homestead, but not just about leasing your homestead, doing it in a tax-free way. Now, we're all in Texas, and occasionally we have some big events that come to Texas. What are some of those big events that come to Texas? How about like a little football? How about a little basketball? How about a little baseball? How about some, World Series and some Super Bowls? How about the rodeo, right? How about the fiesta? How about Formula One, right? How about other major events that people come to our cities to go and view? How would you guys like to rent out your own personal homestead, generate a little bit of income, and while you're doing it, you can either couch surf over at a friend's house, or you can go on your own vacation and be able to do that completely tax-free. Would you like to know a little bit more about how to do this? Yes? All right, good. So if you lease out your home for fewer than 15 days, so the max you can get is 14, all of that rental income is tax-free. Does that sound pretty good? Yes. So, and especially, the time that I would recommend you guys do this is during a major event that's coming to the city where all the hotels are sold out, right? That's where some of the biggest opportunity is, or where all the hotels are at their max rate. Now, granted, you'd have to move out of your house for, a couple of days during this event, but if someone was paying you $1,000, maybe $2,000 a night because they can't otherwise get a property here, couldn't you find a different place to stay for a few nights, maybe go visit friends or family in another state? So this is a cool opportunity to be able to do this. And when it's less than 15 days, you don't even have to report that money to the IRS. And during this rental period, however, there are a couple things that you can and cannot do. But if you are traditionally leasing a property, you can deduct rental expenses like repairs, maintenance, mortgage insurance, or mortgage interest, property taxes, and several other items. But if you're just leasing it for less than 14 days, you cannot do that. Now, for us, my husband and I, we've done this on 2 separate occasions. So we've been able to lease our homestead during a major event, and we've got a really large 10,000 square foot, 7 bedroom, 9 bathroom, 5 living room house. So ours goes for a lot of money. So what do we do when we're leasing out our property for one of these big events? We just go to one of the other cities that's just, a couple hours down the street and stay there, or we go on vacation ourselves, right? So this is a great opportunity to be able to leverage one of the very few things in the IRS tax code that is something where you can get money for free. And I don't know about you guys, but when that's the case, I love to take advantage of that. And so think about this: if you're getting $5,000 for a period of time where you're leasing out your property, how much do you have to make at your W-2 job to be able to net $5,000, right? That means you have to work. Yeah, that means you have to make about $8,000, right? So for some of you, that might be a full week's pay or 2 weeks' pay, right? Just for hopping out of your house for a couple of days during a time period where there's big demand in your city. Now, there are a couple of things that are even a little bit of a bonus here. So if you have, and I know some folks have multiple homesteads, right? So if you're using more than one dwelling as a residence during the year, you could actually do it in both places. Now, there are some exceptions here. So if you live in your vacation home, for example, for 30 days a year, your vacation home is also a dwelling unit used as a residence unless you rent your vacation home for more than 300 days a year. So you can even do it on a second home. So that's a cool benefit of this strategy as well that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Now, if you go over the 15-day limit, do be aware that it becomes a traditional rental property. So on a traditional rental property, you're probably going to do on your tax return, on your 1040, you'll also add a Schedule E. So this is other income. So if you have rental properties, you're already using that Schedule E to be able to claim the rental income plus, but also all of your write-offs, including all of your repairs, maintenance, interest expense, and also to be able to take off your depreciation as well. If you guys are interested in this or want to further verify this and dig into some of the details, you can just check out IRS code or the listing that they have in there, and you can just type this into Google, the IRC Section 280A Section G. So that's a great way to be able to get more information about it, and it's a great way to be able to use your current homestead to be able to take a little time off yourself and get a little bit of extra income doing it. I know a lot of people have side hustles right now, in fact, now more than ever. So it's kind of cool to be able to make your own homestead a side hustle for you as well. And guys, that's the tip that I want to share with you all this week. Also want to go through and explain how Texas REIAs can help you all be more successful as real estate investors. And what that looks like is, you know, for us, I'll tell you, when we first started investing in real estate, we joined our local real estate investor association, just like many of you guys are here to do tonight. It was there that I got my first deal, and it was part of the REIA that I got my last deal. So the reason why after 20 years that I'm still leading a real estate investor association is because this group throws off deals, it throws off opportunities, it throws off funding for those opportunities, it throws off tribal knowledge, and it throws off the power team that you need to be successful as a real estate investor. And for us, we realized a long time ago that the more resourced you are, the more likely you'll be able to make money as a real estate investor and survive no matter what the market throws at you. And we also want to make sure that you guys are learning from people who are local, so other Texans, because the laws are a little bit different here in Texas, and we don't want to be using strategies that work in some other state and get us in trouble here in Texas. So I'll ask the question, how many of you guys are in university right now? How many of you guys are in YouTube University right now? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So for my YouTube University people, you know, what I found, you know, what I believe about the internet is that the internet knows everything. The problem is it has a fair amount of ridiculousness just kind of sprinkled in there a little bit everywhere. And the problem is you don't know what is ridiculous or incorrect or not. And what that looks like is you waste a lot of time. So sometimes you have a lot of the ingredients to be a successful real estate investor, but you don't necessarily have the formula to put it into place, or some of those local resources that you need to be successful. So what I find is a lot of investors sometimes are killing themselves, right? Trying to learn from, you know, and dedicated listeners to the YouTube and to the podcast. And listen, I have both of those, but my claim to fame, if I could use that terminology, is that I am only a specialist in Texas, right? I only know the rules and the laws here. I'm not trying to be everything to everyone on the internet. So I would suggest to you guys, make sure you're learning from other Texas investors that can make sure you do the right thing and make sure you don't lose money, and make sure you're talking to people who understand the local markets, where the deals are, where the deals aren't, what the strategies are, and how you can sort of weed through it all. I don't want any of you guys playing pin the tail on the donkey because that's not a successful business strategy, right? That's why I want you to learn from other people. And I'll invite you guys as we proceed through the meeting tonight to join our tribe, because our tribe really has everything that you need to be a successful real estate investor.